Epic Games can't seem to catch a break lately, with Chapter 6 Season 4 Battle Pass skins officially being leaked alongside Season 4 OG skins, on top of the biggest update we've seen between the feud of Apple and Epic Games recently that you won't believe. Not to mention live event stages going forward and what we're going to be seeing in the days to come leading up to Death Star Sabotage. But most importantly, before we hop into that, my locker bundle is now in the item shop, so don't forget to slap code FM1 in there to pick this up or anything else, literally the most fitting time to do so, and takes like 2 seconds. I don't make the rules, Charlie the Charcoal Pug does, and it's been incredibly hot lately, so he doesn't want anybody messing him around, so don't let this little pug down. Get entering the code now. To celebrate the release of my locker bundle, I want to give back to you guys, so keep your eyes peeled throughout this video, as at a split second a 2,800 V-Bucks code will come on screen, and it's the first to redeem gets it. Enough messing around though. First and foremost from Sheena, as we approach the end of this season, considering it is Chapter 6 mini Season 1, so it's not going a full length like a normal season. The Star Wars season he posted May 19th ends in less than 20 days. Despite this being the case, we're still set to see most of the phases of this season rotate, such as Mandalorian Rising, Star Destroyer Bombardment, which is going to bring an operational or drivable Star Destroyer that we can shoot turbo lasers out of according to data miners, kinda like the situation of where in Chapter 6 Season 1, one player every single game could become Godzilla, and let's not of course forget Death Star Sabotage happening June 7th, immediately going into downtime to end off the season, which is going to be very similar in terms of scale or events actually happening to Operation Skyfire, which if you didn't know involved this giant disc in the sky, perhaps not as big as the Death Star, the mothership actually blowing up, and then the next season sitting in the outskirts ocean of the island. As we've seen in the Galactic Battle trailer, Palpatine definitely has plans for the island, or where he initially wants to strike the Death Star Death Ray being his ship, which as we've seen, Fishstick quickly changes his mind on being a good thing to being incredibly worried. The reason for his arrival on the island, many people are comparing to the likes of Galactus, obviously wanting to harness the power of the full Zero Point, but as we know, since Chapter 6 started, a singular Zero Shard has caused all the events we've seen thus far, from crashing down into an Enoshima being the codename of this island, opening the Spirit Portal and then getting stuck in there, with Daigo wanting to then rescue his sister Jade from the Spirit Realm, but then couldn't help himself once he sensed the power of the Zero Shard, so went into the Spirit Realm at the end of last season to actually try and retrieve it. As this is just one shard or fragment, and here are all the shards or fragments when it's destabilized in Chapter 2 Season 5 from so long ago, many people are theorizing that A, Palpatine used the power of the Force to sense something of great power in the Spirit Realm on the Fortnite island, or there is another secret Zero Shard, particularly that people are thinking right now is at Lone Wolf Lair, considering in the trailer the hologram of the Death Star seems to be targeting this location. Some people are even going as far to say this is why the glowing eyes of this giant statue character kinda buried in the ground are of 0 point colour. So with either of those two options being Emperor Palpatine's true intentions for visiting the island, it seems his apprentice, formerly Anakin Skywalker Darth Vader, which is now AI on the island that we can hire, which I'm sure a lot of you have been having fun with, instead of helping his cause or even trying to edge us in that direction for the live event happening of Death Star Sabotage, has caused nothing but trouble. Data miners like Sheena reported as recently as last night, SAG-AFTRA, I think that's how it's pronounced, the company, has filed an unfair labour practice charge against Epic Games for the Darth Vader AI. Fortnite choose to replace the work of humans with AI technology. Unfortunately, they did so without providing any notice and without bargaining with us over appropriate terms. Like mentioned at the start of the video, this was not the only legal situation Epic Games found themselves in, which has just been resolved right now when I'm recording, and I've had to edit back into this with this information. Fortnite is back on the App Store in the US on iPhones and iPads, and on the Epic Games Store and Alt Store in the EU, and as you can see, despite everybody downloading it now off the App Store posted across social media, this is the official mobile key art with Hope at the front. Huge W Epic Games for getting this done in time for June 7th when the Death Star Sabotage interactive and cinematic based live event rolls around, so even more players can attend it. After all, this day is not only going to be huge for Fortnite because a live event is going down, but we're also seeing Chapter 6 Season 4, or Season 3 as this is called, mini Season 1, immediately after downtime lifts after the event itself. But as you can see from our passes menu now, on that same day what also ends is Chapter 1 Season 3 OG, and also the current LEGO pass for Star Wars, meaning 3 new passes are releasing on the exact same day. Before we reveal some of the official skins for Chapter 6 Season 4 or Chapter 6 Season 3, whatever you want to call it, Epic Games haven't confirmed what the official name of next season is as of now. They did release a survey asking us what we think it's going to be called, however, with the terms Chapter 6 Season 3 and Star Wars Galactic Battle showing throughout most of the options we could select. So perhaps from listening to the community, with this being the 3rd season technically technically of Chapter 6, they simply make next season Chapter 6 Season 4. Either way, with OG Season 4 just around the corner, that we definitely know is going to be called Season 4 itself, despite the fact we're getting teasers toward the comet crashing into Dusty Divot right now, on these TV screens being the kind of llama interrupted static screen, apparently with the reference anyone got eyes on tilted according to Sheena, even though we knew what this comet in the sky previously meant, crashing into Dusty Depot creating Dusty Divot as shown in the Chapter 1 Season 4 trailer. According to Lulo and other data miners, it seems OG Season 4 might not follow the same pattern than the original season. According to the files, Tilted Towers and Dusty Depot will only get destroyed in the second update, and the first update only features some changes at Risky Reels. Hopefully this first update to do with Risky Reels doesn't have anything to do with bringing back the challenge of opening 7 chests, as I think that would literally give Fortnite players or OG enough players to remember this PTSD. I believe that was a part of the initial Blockbuster challenges, you know, Blockbuster being codename for what was the secret skins back then, the first ever one introduced in this case being the Visitor that we found out crashed in this meteor down into Dusty Divot, then opening his pod and making his way to the villain lair, launching the rocket, which we're going to be seeing in the live event repeating itself once again, with Epic Games already teasing around the time of the FNCS Pro-Am with this jam track rotating throughout the shop that we're going to be seeing a remix version of the Visitor in the Chapter 1 Season 4 OG pass, despite the fact that we can't tell much from blowing this image up bigger on screen, although it definitely does look from what we can see different to the normal Visitor's mask. Apparently another skin should be Fate getting a reskin for the OG Season 4 pass, and as we typically only see like 3 or 4 skins in these OG passes, according to Lulo, a rumour about the Season 4 OG pass is that the pass should be made up of Fate, the Visitor, Omega's remix and Zoe's remix, but not 100% confirmed. And just before we move on to Chapter 6 Season 4's Battle Pass, which we predict it's going to be called anyways, despite Fortnite Galactic Battle being an entire collab season based around Star Wars, the collabs might not have stopped there in terms of releasing this season. According to Sheena, there's a rumour that One Punch Man may be coming to the game soon, and Epic left some text in the files that sounds a lot like him. Skin is wearing a yellow and red suit with a black belt. He has a bald head and no facial features, which, from pulling a character model into Fortnite early to see what this kind of would look like, it's not going to be exact, definitely fits this description. As for other rumours, however, apparently the Chameleon skin is rumoured to be in the next Battle Pass, which for those that don't know what he's referring to is off of the Fortnite surveys, and this is what the full character looks like. The next main Battle Royale season's been rumoured to be superhero themed, as we got a bunch of inside leaks, which are the following in case you missed them. As mentioned, it's Superhero Academy themed, with Midas, who came to the island in Chapter 6 Season 2, funding this Superhero Academy, potentially because everything he touches can turn into gold, so has the riches or wealth to do so. Superman power-up similar to Godzilla with Fortress of Solitude POI, which would look like this, the Fortress of Solitude for those that don't know, and this is apparently set to replace Mass Meadows with a Robin DC Universe skin upcoming, being the sidekick of Batman, which I don't know if this is in the next Battle Pass. What we do know is in the next Battle Pass, however, is the Mass Daigo skin that we saw succumb to the thrall of the Dark Presence in the Spirit Realm from this cinematic after completing last season's final quest, and he will be the main villain next season, also a boss, placing Shogun X on the floating island that spawns, I believe, in like the 3rd storm circle of each game. And despite Mass Meadows getting replaced, a Utopia City is also replacing Seaport City, 2 locations since the start of Chapter 6 getting removed off the island. Because of this superhero theme, many people doubt the Chameleon skin will be upcoming, but let's not of course forget that we see 8 Battle Pass outfits in a normal length season in comparison to a month-long one like we see now in Galactic Battle, where there can only be a total of 5 and 50 instead of 100 levels to unlock the final outfit, in this case being Emperor Palpatine. As we've just been on the subject of Daigo, however, and the Spirit Portals, as we know he's entered the Spirit Realm, even involving Midas, as this portal initially turned into gold before pulling through Crime City and all this gold-infected area, which then because of this became destroyed. It looks like it's now being repaired from within the Spirit Realm by masked villain Daigo. As you can see right now in-game, we have energy surrounding it, almost 0 point or electric-like, and then this apparently, according to Not Cray, is going to be stage 2 of this being reactivated from within the Spirit Realm, so Daigo can actually make his way back onto the Battle Royale island. We then have another more so repaired and activated stage in terms of the actual portal's aura that's emitted, whether it's the beam in the sky or what we can see from the gateway in the portal itself. Hopefully this season, unlike the previous ones, we see an actual timer above this portal area, obviously showing showing or proving to players you need to get here when Death Star Sabotage actually starts. As for the outcome of this event right now, we don't know exactly what's going to be happening. It's not going to destroy the entire island, the Death Star, even if it crashes near it or onto part of it, and we know that for a fact considering the Turtle Islands plugin, you know, these two lovebirds, the pink one I believe that got introduced on Valentine's Day of this year 2025. Data miners determined back then that this Turtle Island plugin in the code won't get disabled until 38.00, with a breakdown basically displaying that this means 38.00 is the update for Chapter 7 at the end of the year. To complement the release of OG Season 4, however, considering this was a superhero themed season, we've already discussed that Superman, another version of him, will be coming to the next Battle Pass in Battle Royale on Chapter 6, which yes, may confuse a lot of people considering in Chapter 2 Season 7's Battle Pass, once again, as Operation Skyfire went down in this season, was a version of Superman but called Clark Kent. So yes, they can definitely get away with adding a different variant of Superman, you know, that kind of looks a little bit different to this guy, and actually naming the character Superman himself instead of just, you know, his actual name being Clark Kent. Data miners like Lulo previously determined that the next season for Chapter 6 is superheroes themed but not entirely a collaboration, as Epic added this icon called Hero Sprite by mistake, and it's the same icon than what's shown in the chest or on areas of the superhero skins from the recent survey of skins that they released. And as you can see on here, there's literally a ton of them, I believe 18 in total. Feel free to get a good look at all of these on screen, as we may already know the code names for some of them that you're feasting your eyes on currently, but before we reveal those, apparently we're going to be getting hero abilities like in Chapter 2 Season 4, remember these for the Marvel season, but next season, and they'll drop out of chests, supply drops, and our on floor loot. These items spawn out of chests and supply drops like weapons, and this means that you only receive the ability mats and a consumable, no guns or ammo, and we should get around 8 abilities throughout the season in total. In terms of what these skins are or what the abilities could be linked to, here are the Season 3 Battle Pass codenames, or Season 4 as you can see in the title of today's video. Confirmed skins: Spatial Travel _What, Mist Raven _Peck, Lazy Liz _Chip, Bent Baton _Flip, and Ashen Magnus _Slant. Possible: Wealth Lamb _Fate, Forward Lake _Dire, Mortal Core _Clove, and Squid Glisten _Lift. Note that the possible skins are indeed Battle Pass codenames, but we don't know if for next season. There are 9 codenames, and Battle Passes, like we've previously discussed, contain 8 skins in a normal length season. Drop a like if you're hyped to learn something new, and subscribe for more with all notifications turned on so you don't miss any breaking news, leaks or uploads. Do not forget, most importantly, I'm a strong Epic partner, so enter code FM1 now in the shop before you pick up my locker bundle, which is still here until May 22nd. I don't make the rules, Charlie the Charcoal Pug does, and he's asking everyone to enter the code now before picking that or anything up, so don't let this little pug down. It's been a hot day, get entering the code now. In terms of other videos or where you go to now, however, click either of these two on screen. YouTube's recommended. It's a good suggestion whilst you wait for the next upload I do publish here on the channel.